Hello, my people. Good day to you. Thank you for joining me on today's episode of Daily Mind Shift. My name is Michael Ojola for Transformation Africa, and over the couple of last week, we spoke extensively about laws, daily laws, the law of the creation, the great law of humility. Today, we will be talking about another law, and it's about connection. These laws are called the 12 great laws of karma, 12 great laws of life, and all. So I just said I should bring it to you every day for the next 12 days. And on today's episode, we will be talking about the law of connection in the next couple of minutes. It's just, this law is about the reality that everything in the universe is interconnected, all right? Everything in the universe is interconnected. The past, the present, and the future are all connected. The past, the present, and the future are all connected. And some people even believe that they are all happening at once. And that is how knitted together the past, the present, and the future are, that they are all happening at once. That the only time that exists is now. The only time that we have is the present moment. The only time that we have is now. So, and I also want to also emphasize another aspect of this law of connection, to interpret it based on the relationship we have with people, that you cannot live this life alone. You are interconnected with people. Everybody on earth, different race, ethnicity, religion, barrier that we humans have created for ourselves cannot change this ultimate fact that we are one race, the human race. All right, we are one race, and that is the human race. And we are so connected to each other that when you hate another person, it is because you hate yourself first. You cannot love yourself so much and hate another person. You cannot tell yourself so much truth and lie about another person. No, it's because you would have lied to yourself first before you lie about another person. You would have hated yourself first before you hate another person. So it's important that within this law of connection, you also know that we are connected with each other. We are connected with one another, and that will give importance to our coexistence. It will help us live better. So back to the past, the present, and the future, that they are all connected. That is the law of connection, that everything in the universe is interconnected. See, sometimes we overemphasize one aspect of our lives above another. We compartmentalize our lives. We believe we are spiritual here, we are physical there, we are social here, we are emotional there, we are physical. We compartmentalize our life like that so that we be able to make sense of how everything works. But you cannot say you wear a garment if you only wear your hand. You cannot say you wear a garment if you only wear one aspect of your trouser. You cannot say you wear a cloth and the only thing you wore is the hood. No, every piece of that fabric, every piece of the cloth is connected together, and by wearing all of them is when we look at you and say, whoa, you are beautiful in that dress, you are beautiful in that suit or whatever. So using that example, you need to know that because we overemphasize one aspect of our life than the other doesn't mean the other aspect of our life is not as important or is not equally as important as the first. It is all of them. All of our life is happening all at once. Your spiritual life is happening immediately as your physical life is happening. Your social life is happening as your spiritual, as your physical. Your emotional life is happening as your strategic, as your philosophy. Whatever aspect of your life you think is different is not. All right, it's not different at all. So it's important that you know that overemphasizing one aspect of your life above another is more of a disservice is that to you than any other thing. It's not that you are focused on one thing. No, It's just that you are neglecting another. We tend to love and romance our past sometimes more than our present. We tend to like what has happened. I remember the good old days. You remember? That's what we say sometimes, that we remember the good old days. But when you are experiencing the good old days, I can bet you that you are still remembering the good old days. You keep going back to the past as if you want to bring the past to now. Then you neglect your now. That is one of the most important aspects of your life is now. That we neglect it. We cherish our past more than the present. Then we just push the future to where it is. The future, we anticipate that one day the future will come. Instead of enjoying now, being nostalgic is not bad. Remembering your past is not bad. Dreaming about your future is beautiful. But living and enjoying the here and now is key to having a wholesome life. Because eventually, when you get to your future and you've not learned how to be in the present, you will get to the future, in quote, that you are dreaming about, and you will still be dreaming about another future. See, the truth is, no one part of your life is more important than the other, like I said before. No one part of your life is more important. Life is in a flow, and it is flowing constantly from one verse of your life to another verse, from one chapter of your life to another chapter. Everything is like a symphony, it's like a music. Because you press a key on the keyboard, a chord on the keyboard doesn't make it musical. It is the interchanging of chords and interlocking chords meaningfully that makes symphony, that makes music. It's not the end of your life that makes your life meaningful. It's not the beginning of your life that makes it meaningful. It's not the now of your life that makes it meaningful. It's the combination of everything. It's the connection of all that makes your life beautiful. Life flows in chapters, from one chapter to another chapter to another chapter to another chapter, and all these parts are equally as important to what you call your life. Your life story is not the past alone. Your life story is not what is going to happen to you in your future. Your life story is not about what is happening to you now. Your life story is the past, the present, the future, interconnected. It is when you connect all that you have a full life. So, I know we must focus on the task at hand, right? I know you must focus on what you are doing. But you need to understand that all of your life is interconnected. From the smallest thing you do, maybe sweep your room, to the most significant thing, maybe analyzing data for your multi-million-dollar company. Everything is interconnected, and everything is important in their own way. Everything is important and necessary to the overall achievement or overall meaning that you give your life. The journey of life, you must know, it's going to be undertaken one step at a time. You cannot rush this. You cannot rush it. You cannot rush the journey of your life. No matter how you can run, even every of these marathon runners, they had to finish the race. They can't. Have you ever heard that someone keep running for life? No. They will have the guy will have died. The guy will have died. The journey of life is like that. Even though it's a marathon, you can only run a marathon one step at a time. Fast or slow, one step at a time. All right? And eventually, we will reach the destination we are gunning for. But remember, life happens one step at a time. And everything that you've gone through, everything that you are going through, and everything that you will go through are all connected to make the story of your life significant. Thank you for listening to me on today's episode of Daily Mind Shift. We will talk later. Bye.